啦，小蔡继续来拯救世界啊！这游戏不知道有没有日夜之分诶，好像是有的，不知道它显示在哪里。好啦，然后我们下午的时候玩到说，我们把那个电力给调给了水岸镇，所以水岸镇它目前还 OK 嘛。然后感觉像应该要反过来帮助那些人，然后就是让那个李德免职的哈。然后接下来就要看要怎么做这件事情了。Spacers， 读图中。可是我觉得应该是没有那么容易啦，应该是有些条件的。直接对他开枪好像不是一个选项啊，他还有守卫，所以大概是不能轻举妄动。然后我刚刚发现，在用那个技能开锁的时候，就是黑客的时候，是不能被人家看见的。交谈。
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
看一下哦，我有点是想跟你谈谈。
Go ahead.
瘟疫的 Sir。
Can we not? Talking about unpleasant things always gets my bile up.
没错。
If I had enough medicine to treat everyone who fell sick, I would, but I don't. I can't save everyone. So I have to choose. Adelaide's son was barely competent. I treat him with our medical rations, and it looks like I'm playing favorites. Now, I will not pretend to understand the suffering Adelaide must have felt on account of losing her child, but she is not the only one to have felt such suffering. I wish she had stayed with us. Adelaide left us when we needed her most.
持续多久？
That I cannot say. There was no moment when the plagues began. Disease always lurks on the fringes of society, waiting to infect the idle and the lethargic. But in the last 10 years, the plagues have become progressively worse and increasingly frequent.
Oh.
Corporate doesn't like us using the word should. It encourages the imagination. I believe plague is a test. It is a test of our loyalty and our fortitude, and it is one we will see through to the end. Go ahead. It is my job to keep 2 eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and this is my watch post. I wish you wouldn't say things like that.
你不同意吗？
Yes, as a matter of fact. When I stand at my window and look out over my town, here's what I see. I see decent, loyal, hard-working people. I see a family. We are all part of the Spacer's Choice family. We are all doing what we were brought into this world to do. This is a Spacer's Choice town. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. The company keeps us warm, keeps us fed, keeps us working. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. This is good old-fashioned gratitude.
他们说太空人之选这个企业这个系统应该不在星球上，对不对？在太空中嘛。
Go ahead.
啊，跟他谈正事。
That you are not one of us may work to your advantage. Adelaide and her folk loathe the people of Edgewater, you see. I admit the fault was mine. I'm about as diplomatic as a bristling canid. I just hope Adelaide and her folk will see their way past my flaws and return to town. Nature is uglier. There is safety here. Safety and purpose. But not all of us see that. And I cannot force that vision upon them. Yes, we have lost good workers to desertion. We have lost even more to plague. But it is why we must square our shoulders and carry on.
这个人在跟他对谈的时候，即便选了一些有点刺激他的选项，他还是可以很镇定的回答我的问题。
Losing Adelaide was the hardest. She was our only flavor specialist. When she walked away, I knew we were in trouble. Spacer's Choice Salt Tuna is renowned across the system for its quality flavors and additives. We used to sell citrus-flavored salt tuna in our heyday. Ever since Adelaide left, we have been reduced to selling unflavored
不合
and
口味的
spearmint.
鲑鱼，真假的啊？
Go ahead. Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a salt tuna canning institution. Salt tuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible. Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with salt tuna galore. No other brand of salt tuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, salt tuna is hard to come by. What with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world.
它是在另一个世界的海里土生土长的，所以它并不是原产于这个翡翠谷的品种哦。哎，王总做成的罐头，该不会是人肉吧？应该不是这么恐怖的选项吧？
Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms.
哦。
Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of salt tuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate.
哦，好像抓住他的辫子喽。
Go ahead. That you are not one of us may work. I admit. Nate. Go ahead. That you, I admit the.
诶，我是看到重复选项。
Nate. Go ahead.
好像还是没成功哦。站起来。
I appreciate what you've done for us.
嗯，
I expected as much. I've been thinking about it. I could use Adelaide back, but if she's being obstinate, try to talk her followers into returning. We need the extra hands.
他的选项，他这个选项告诉我就是说，我可以让那个什么托马斯跟另外一个男的是谁忘记，女的啊，那个女的保安警长，可以让他们两个回来这样子。
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town.
哎，这样不就承认我犯罪了吗？
I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
看一下，攻击是怎样？
Unless you can demonstrate to me that we are helpless without it, I see no reason why I should stand down.
哦，
You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
嗯，可以骗他哎。
If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended.
啊？
Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me. A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
为什么？
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement. I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week. I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs. I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
他怎么这么的拿得起放得下啊？我只是随便唬他的，虽然是事实，但是我是用别的事情去唬他的，他就说好，那我把这个守镇长的身份交给他。他很拿得起放得下，我的天啊！对，彼得这边的进去的方法可能是说我把他干掉嘛？这可以传送吗？可以耶。没谱号。在这里吧，这里，传送好方便哦。应该真的有日夜啊，现在又好像天亮了。说服他了，你开心了吧
Look at that. The snake's come back. I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned
他
his
眼睛都发
post.
亮了。
Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
真的耶，他是不是讲的没错耶？我一下重创他们，把他的店拿走，一下又帮他们的忙，真的耶，他讲的是真的。看一下，
This don't put us on even footing, you understand. But it is a start. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
他这边讲的 burden 不是指行李，是他的重担啊。他这个没有翻出来。哦，或许他讲行李两个字也是翻译正确。OK， 他离开了，可以在他面前偷东西了吧？等一下，我那个任务就完成了耶。彼得现在不在了，阿德莱格将会接管水岸。哎呦，一小小馆试馆要偷小菜，真的是吼。有话要说吗？
Food's bound to spoil at this rate.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
What happened?
Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all. Adelaide said that? Was she sober at the time? I never imagined she'd step foot in Edgewater long as Reed ran the town. Something must have changed in Edgewater. Adelaide's good as family. If she's going back, so are we.
他们也要跟着回去了。好啦，我绕了一大圈，在这个水岸里面胡搞瞎搞，终于要回到唯一的主线上了，回到船上。船在哪？哦，有传送点啊，太方便了吧！ 原本是货商的船嘛，然后它在落地的时候被我压死了嘛。这船现在是我的了。
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew.
大小眼的。
I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling. Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
你这个血量这么凶啊！
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Edgewater was on the verge of collapse before you showed up. You sent them power, and now the town might see another season. And you talked Miss McDevitt into coming back to town. Maybe one day, Edgewater will have a garden where that cannery once stood. You ain't exactly a stranger anymore. You've done some kindness hereabouts. I wouldn't mind following.
他刚刚在分析过我祖先所做过的决定呢。好啦，你都陪伴我出生入死了，我的第一个伙伴 NPC 也就一起来吧。
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
他很高兴哎。啊，我那个牧师他不是也要来？哎。
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
那这个店名 ，The Unreliable， 靠谱号变成没谱号。等于就是我的一个安全区了嘛。2楼啊。 专业数值重置机是什么？哦，重置我的专业的、还不用啊。哦，安装。那跟那个谁，我已经忘记那个 AI 叫什么名字了。
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
之后如果想要再回来，应该也 OK 吧？咱们走吧。嘿嘿嘿。
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
哦，救我的那个人。
Ah, there you are, hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you.
我还可以放慢时间。
Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine.
What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Kelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kelly.
为什么我就不能干脆跑向翡翠岛星系远走高飞呢？
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her.
跟犯罪公司那种绝对不太是在不会，一点都不会。
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Wrong matter of shroud, my slow-witted accomplice. This is, how to put it simply, a device that makes you look different, sound different. Briefly. The device has its limits, but it will allow you to blend in perfectly, and probably won't jeopardize your ability to have children. Will it? No, definitely not. Probably, yes. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
局限性的
Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely.
Oh.
Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram. A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath.
有点像是他妈怎么让人口气清新的。
Science, that's how. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
全息投影。如果你拥有属于该管制区的 ID 卡，全息帷幕会为你和同伴投射一套，直到我们顺利进入管制区。无授权人员禁止进入管制区，否则一进方会立刻进行攻击。哦，就是一些管制区域，我不进不去的话，如果我有这个全息投影就进得去，可是要有 ID 卡哦，怎么来啊？终端。浏览货上的未读消息。浏览货上的消息存档，都是这个人呢？这个人是谁？好朋友的好朋友。突然间获得了任务啊！有一把强力武器等待我的发现。菲乃是在他的轨道实验室中保存一把强大的武器——闢地者。有一把武器，这个应该是之后可以看他的讯息看到的，之后可以去找这样。还有3楼，这可能就是我的那些同伴的住处了。哎，牧师在这。
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
牧师，你被开除了，你现在就给我离开这艘飞船。
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. The only one I'm aware of. I suppose we could always just ask random passers-by if they are fluent in it.
什么东西？
Can't believe my desperation has led me to you. Well, I just remembered there actually is a list like that. The Groundbreaker has access to it. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. Thank you, Captain.
稍微对话下就会有支线冒出来。我们那个女的嘞？ 他在楼下。
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the hold, so here I am. Cozy like, ain't it?
什么？我觉得你该一个人上路了，人家才刚上船就把他给 fire 了。
That's in pretty good shape considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. It's a Yakita LHA 120, A2 model, I'm pretty sure. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space but didn't change the stock engines. Probably a touch underpowered, huh?
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude you are Edgewater's board-certified mechanic.
哦，有那种不要插嘴。
Your user preferences have been updated, Captain. In the event we are about to crash into an asteroid, I will remain silent.
Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was. He taught me all he knew. Do you understand?
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider this facsimile convincing.
以后就是帕瓦利负责修理你了。
I am at your disposal, Miss Parvati. You will find the technical schematics in the engineer's locker, though I'm afraid Captain Hawthorne has lost the owner's manual.
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're cooking with plasma torches. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with a plasma torch. Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
李北好像对你意见很大，这个是我第一次主线上到那一层楼时候看到的状况。
I'm not exactly a model employee. Not like you wanted. The kind that stays quiet and gets the right work done in the right order every day. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
对啊，你只是适合，为什么大家就不开心了呢？
Well, because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater.
哦
When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they begun. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening. I reckon you could say, no thanks, I don't want a job. But then you don't got a job. Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling. Oh, there were a whole lot of reading, not nearly enough doing. Like, before they'd issue you a wrench, they wanted an essay on the design of different wrenches. Then there'd be quizzes on company regulations for storage and maintenance of wrenches. As soon as I got permission, I spent all my time in the machine shop. They had all manner of parts, but they didn't want me using them, so I had to sneak them sometimes.
这东西，
I even
这个
slept
人
in
好像
there.
手不太干净
Had。a hammock tied up in the rafters. Before I left, I installed a little skylight for myself, so I could see the stars. Teachers came through now and again, looking for slackers or contraband, but I was always working. They liked that. Otherwise, I tried not to call attention to myself. Just stay quiet in a corner and I'll get overlooked.
这个人有点为边
When my
缘。
roommates tried to talk, I'd get so nervous I'd be drenched in sweat. It was easier for everybody when I stayed off on my own. I doubt any of them remember me now.
这个人的遭遇有点悲情，但是同时跟他聊之后，我也发现这个游戏的世界观跟他的可能一个小镇的人事物工作怎么运作的，你适合做什么，你出生之后你被定位成什么样子，这游戏交代的我觉得蛮清楚的，还不错。还有这游戏的细节，对，就是一些你没有必要知道的事情，它也交代的很清楚，代入感还不错。就是尤其是在跟这些角色培养他们的个性，知道他们的来历的这个方面上做得很好。好了，辟地者号都是辟地者号与辟地者号，再来接下来看来接下来都是下一个任务哦。那你的没有任务要给我吗？因为牧师有任务给我。
Sometimes I can hear Vickers saying prayers to himself. Sometimes I hear him cussing about tossball scores.
没有话要讲了。好，去辟地者号找那个女的黑市交易者。哦。辟地者号由君雷丁尼森掌管，类地星2，君王星。这个就是我离开的地方嘛。啊，辟地者号任务啊，斯库拉是哪？辟地者号。可以去吗？这里。警告：危险！卡斯卡蒂亚起降平台，我还没有执照嘛，不能去，可能会被开火。好。我不是已经看过了吗？还有一些你已经发现的关键地点，开往任何已解锁地点。有些起降港需要密码或密钥，
Breaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Can we talk?
还有任务给我了吗？
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Gosh, no, Captain. I aim to stay so long as I'm welcome. I figured Junlei and I could confabulate over wireless or by message. And maybe when we put into Groundbreaker, I could stop by to visit her sometimes. But only when you don't need me with you. I abso-surely can. I'm a passing fair mechanic. Even Mr. Thompson would have said it's my only skill. But I'm used to working on cannery lines, AG loaders and the like. There's tricks about ships I ain't learned yet. All I'm looking for is a few pointers. I bet a lady who runs a whole station has forgot more than I ever learned. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
这是任务吗？介绍给他，他是路过的时候带他一起去，都是霹雳者号上的任务也超多的。停泊区，至多2名哦，那就这2个人啊。读读中，那个，是我的船嘛？对，我的船指指点点的、啊。
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by.
这是一个大型的太空舱。
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
这到处都是人，不要乱偷啊！我拿了枪到处晃没有问题吗？
That's not the point. This halfway just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
Hey, no offense, but I don't think this walking Saltuna can's gonna appreciate you interrupting.
Keep talking, Millstone. See what happens. Now's not a good time. I'm dealing with a problem here.
So, go space yourself. Problem solved.
You must really want to truncheon through your teeth.
这我可要看看。
This ain't a show. Move along. Do what you want. I'm done here.
Whatever you heard, it's all true. I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
所以你就积极捍卫你球队的荣耀了。这个游戏的对话都很好笑。
Exactly. I was only doing what any self-respecting Rangers fan would have done. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. You know something? I am lucky. I ought to raise a glass of 0G to my fortune, if I had the bits. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
你问这个干什么啊？
Oh, just musing is all. Must be nice having the run of the colony. Never being anchored to one place, always chasing some horizon. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
我还不说你叫什么呢？我是小蔡。
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss.
既然可以这样跟他进入交谈对话，代表他事后应该还是有任务剧情相关的吧？那先来做一下支线嘛。这个，把它介绍一下。
Customs and inspection, right this way.
不要。Oh my， 哇，好贵哦。可以买这个了，很便宜耶。卖的东西不太一样哦，不一样的，百步穿杨突击步枪，这会比我手上这把狙击步枪好吗？198。他198，我的呢？我才67耶，哎，差很多哎。等一下，上面是写84，看一下，99，这个算长管机械，长管机械，我有2把狙击枪，是不是？ 所以这把是改造过才有84哎。看一下， 本上是一样的东西吧，这把帅一点。要过海关了。
Identification, please. That's only about the third or fourth dumbest line I've heard all day. I give it a 6 out of 10.
Seems a little high. That was barely a 3 in my humble opinion.
Hey, that's better than half. Could be worse.
伙伴会出来
Could
插
be
话
better,。too. So, identification.
可以出示他的身份，我想要先假设一下，如果没有身份证会怎样？
Everybody's got an ID. Oh, let me guess. You, left it in your other pants? I hear that one a lot. I'd tell you no one's fallen for that line in about 30 years. Then, I'd take the safety off my gun and kindly ask you to move along.
以我的身
It's
份
a
呢、
good thing he didn't say that then, right? Right, sir?
Sure, kid. Right.
我不想要扮演成别人啊，我就是小菜啊。
You've got a ship, but you've never visited Groundbreaker. You must have just dusted off from one of those dirt-side outposts.
Sure did. And now we're in space.
Well, welcome to Groundbreaker. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
Huh?
You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important.
好像扭断这个贝德福德的脖子。
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
他有什么货？
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with? You noticed, huh?
我就是这么聪明。
They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them.
哦，董事会对于这个 PD 号是有点害怕的，因为它是对外界货物的一个关口。
Sounds like, yeah. But from where I sit, it's all coming through loud and clear. They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway. The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
有什么能透露的吗？这个人
He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. Sure thing.
想喝2杯。
Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right. It means on your right side. Reckon you're from one of the planets. Word of advice. You see a door marked opens to vacuum? Stay clear. That's not the kind of vacuum... You know what? Never mind. Open any door you want. The mess will take care of itself. Be seeing you.
我的船被扣押了，还拿了一把枪跟刀子到处跑。哎呦！为了完成任务，你需要进入管制区。这个现在会被发现，会向我开火。
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar, shipped in and out with.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again.
哪里算是哪里开始算管制区啊？ 光盘先用一下吧。狙击枪，我伤害高啊。
I'll keep quiet.
This 这边不要乱拖啊！机枪哎！
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. This story is brought to you by Halcyon News, all the news that's fit to broadcast.
君王星现在封锁。
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
抽烟啊！这应该还不是管制区吧？长线店哪里？
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications I'd be happy to show you. Why, it gets you the weapon best suited for your lifestyle.
All the better for performing a little percussive maintenance.
Self-improvement, including one's weapons, is always a worthy endeavor.
Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. Perfectly serviceable. But what if you like finesse? Slap a scope and silencer on that bad boy. Bunker down in a bush someplace and pop off heads.
消音器.
What if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? Extended ammo magazine and a barrel heatsink to bump up rate of fire. A what? Sorry, hon. Here at Bell's Shells, we just don't discuss impolite topics, and WARRANTIES tops the list. No and yes. When you install something, it pops in there real nice, but if you want to replace it, the originals tend to snap like plastic toys. So, what can I get you?
看一下，看一下有没有什么消音，暴击伤害，弹药容量。哇，有一个很贵的，腐蚀。看一下，这边卖的还比较便宜，刚后面卖比较贵，卖比较贵。啊，这个我有吗？ 可以在他面前偷东西，在他面前偷钱，就在他旁边偷他收音机里的钱。现在有这把，应该是还 OK 了。
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property. Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of Northern terrorists.
有你姨妈厨房。
Hearty greeting, potential customer. Welcome to Auntie's Kitchen, a home-style consumable protein dispensary. May this unit dispense proteins for your ingestion. Beginning dispensing sequence. Please unblock all relevant facial protein ingestion tubes.
我应该还没进入管制区啦，我都还不用伪装。
This is house
XF411s and an old Yakita 37. You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed?
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
就是那个女的想要见的。
I've looked at half the best stuff. It's all.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors.
小菜。
No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting.
敬礼，明白，长官。
At ease. Nice to see an outsider with some working brain cells. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through.
我就路过一下。
Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
这是整个 PD 者号的舰长啊。这边还有点太暖和了。哎，对。
What? I didn't think you just.
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if, well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Wow, great! I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest.
他好紧张哦。
Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention. You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. You've got my attention. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. My engineers have managed to keep the heat to livable levels, but all the fixes are temporary. This wound is bound to fester. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive.
很不找个承包商解决这个问题，像我看的价格就很公道。
Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays.
其实没有你说的那么简单吧？应该是。
The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail. They didn't come back. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense, but a freelancer like you is more dispensable.
Dispensable， 还用 dispensable 形容我。
Nice and pragmatic. Thanks for understanding.
刚才那个选项是比中指啊。
Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
还从他那边交一个任务哎。
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the fall.
哇，接了一堆任务，我的天！这些任务是有没有需要录影？江松。
Watch out, something doesn't explode in your face.
Pivotal game into question.
我实在也很想要在点这些支线的时候也录影。
A toss ball first.
先捡哪一个呢？这个已经成功的把它介绍给这个君主君磊了嘛，之后应该就可以期望到他的那个维修技术蒸蒸日上。然后这个任务就是说，马克思想要找一个懂法语的人，然后呢，就找到这个人之前解读他的那本禁书，但是在这之前要先找到那个这个闢地者号上人员的清单，所以为了找到这份清单，要先到他的安保终端。这个是那个守卫门卫给我的任务啊，叫我帮他传个话。然后这个是货商船上的任务，然后这个是刚刚那个军雷给我的任务啊。为了阻止闢地者号发生过热，我需要去帮他找一个散热键，从后舱的旧机体上回收。这个主线我觉得可以再搁置一下，反正我现在哪里都去不了嘛，我干脆在闢地者号上面解个支线啊。从这个开始吧，
Coaches and
然
referees
后
are
先做一个
debating
分
how
段啊，
and if
然后马上
this
继续
behavior
啊。
could lead to an unfair advantage. This has been Halcyon News.